Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with a Hangout and highlight session with my guy, Mr. Josh Parnell. Man, amazing guy, super great leader, speaker, military man, former military. So first off, man, thank you for your service. Thank you so much for what you do and how you do what you do.
Thank you, Chip, and thank you for allowing me to be here. And it's an honor to be on your show, man.
Yes, sir. Well, let's dive into it, man. Talk to us about, I kind of mentioned a little bit, but talk to us about who you are and what it is you do, kind of the journey, so people will know.
Sure. Well, yeah, Chip, again, man, I appreciate you for allowing me to be here. My journey starts over 20 years ago. I joined the Air Force when I was about 19 years old, and was in the Air Force for 4 years. Did a 4-year enlistment, and got out of the Air Force, finished my degree, and went into oil and gas for a few years, and eventually found my footing as a corporate trainer and a corporate coach for an automotive repair franchise, and so was there for almost a decade as a corporate trainer and coach, and really got my feet wet as it relates to leadership, and that's what I'm doing now. But it wasn't until I really started pouring into myself personally and professionally, and learn more about leadership and what leadership really was. For me, growing up, I believed that leadership was a title, and I didn't view myself as a leader until I had a title. And thankfully, before I got a leadership title, my perspective on leadership changed. What I realized was that leadership is a skill, and it needs to be practiced and honed and developed. And I learned that leadership is truly just about it's about servant leadership. It's about serving others. It's about caring for others. And so I began to learn more about leadership and what that world really was and what that world really wasn't. And about a year and a half ago, I felt like God was just kind of placing something on my heart that was prompting me to make a move. And I was still at my corporate job, and logically it didn't make sense because I loved what I did. I loved the people that I was with, the company that I was with. The culture there was incredible.
It's always good to hang out with some Christian brothers.
It's amazing. It really is, And so
we know inside joke.
Yeah, well, I'll say it. I mean, the company is Christian Brothers Automotive, and so. But man, they're a fantastic company, and I still work with a lot of them to this day as an entrepreneur. But logically, it didn't make sense for me to make a move. But I believe in I believe in obeying the call, for lack of better terms. This is a season where I stepped out in faith, and was it scary? Yes. Was I operating in faith? Yes. But the similarity between faith and fear is that they both believe in a future that hasn't happened yet. And so about a year ago, I made the decision to fully step out in faith, and jumped into this terrifying world of entrepreneurship. And so, it's been great ever since. It's God truly has provided ever since I left, and so now I'm a leadership coach, trainer, and speaker. And so the bulk of my business is one-on-one coaching. I coach a lot of small business owners, some executives and CEOs, as well as I do group coaching, group trainings, and speaking engagements. And as you know, I have a copy of my book here. I released my first book, hopefully not my last, my first book a couple months ago, called Leading a Legacy: How to Live Today to Make an Impact for Tomorrow. I believe that the legacy that we're leading determines the legacy that we're leaving. So what are we doing today to make an impact for tomorrow? So that is my quick, 5-minute spiel on who I am and what I'm doing now.
That's good. I think it's a great journey. I think it's truly inspiring too, because you're able to hit on all of the things that you've been blessed to do, which has allowed you to develop into the person that you are today. And so I love how you talked about the title with the leadership deal, but really, like, everybody's a leader. Everybody can be a leader. Just like influence others just by showing up.
That's it.
Like you can lead others, and that's always good to do.
I think it's important for us to recognize that the reason all of us are leaders, if you're listening to this episode, you are a leader. And the reason being is you have perspective that no one else has.
Come on.
Because your upbringing, your life experiences, you are truly one of one. And since you have a unique perspective that is not shared by anyone else, you have the ability to influence those around you. And good or bad, because at the end of the day, we're contagious. We can either infect or we can affect. So ask yourself, what are people catching from me? Are they catching a positive influence? Because if we can positively influence those around us, we can affect change. And anyone who is a change agent is truly a leader.
Yeah. But talk to us about the book, Leading a Legacy, how to live today to make an impact for tomorrow. Talk to us about that process. How was that process for you?
So the process was something that I really want to give a lot of praise and thanks to Streamline Books. So Streamline is the publishing company that helped me launch my book. I had a message that was floating around in my head, and but to get that message on paper was something that I wasn't sure of how to go about, because unlike someone that I know with Mr. 18 Books, I only have one, and so this was a new process for me. So I didn't know what I didn't know, and so I reached out to a friend of mine who is the CEO of Streamline Books, Alex Dimchek.
Dimchek,
and
good dude,
very good dude. And so Alex walked me through the process, and it was about a 4-month process. They graciously gave me an extra month because I was dragging my feet at times, but for me, it was about a 5-month process to get all of the pieces of the puzzle that I had on the table to put the puzzle together. And I'm very thankful and grateful for Streamline for allowing that to happen. But the whole purpose for the book was I want to make an impact. My mission is to reach people and build leaders. And the message I just shared about how perspective equals influence and influence equals change, I want people to know that they are a leader. I want people to recognize I have the ability to affect change around me. And there are people in my life that God's putting in my life that allow me to make an impact. But if they don't view themselves as a leader, if they don't view themselves a particular kind of way, how are they going to make a change? And so, we talked about how when I can make a decision and say, you know what, I know why I'm a leader now. I know that I can affect change. And with perspective, the way that we view things drives the way that we do things. So if I can have this shift in perspective that now I believe I'm a leader, then I know I can influence those around me.
I love that. Well, you talked about your sessions that you're doing as well, like your speaking, your coaching. Talk to us a little bit more about that, and kind of tell the audience, like, if they want to get some of that in their life, which they need it in their life.
Hey, well, we all do, Chip, and I appreciate the platform for it to share. So I want to first begin by letting everyone know that I also have a counselor that I work with on a monthly basis. I also work with my own coach on a bi-monthly basis, and I'm married to a licensed professional counselor, so I get free counseling.
In-house counselor.
Exactly. So I get free counseling even when I don't want it, because quite often I'm getting poured into. But I think it's important to know that every coach should have a coach.
Yes.
Every doctor has a doctor. Every therapist has a therapist, right? Personal trainers could and should still have personal trainers. Like a lot of it is about accountability, and it's about blind spots that some of us have. And I think the key is when you can find someone who you trust, who can pour into you and speak truth into you, that's where you can experience incredible breakthroughs. At the end of the day, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so if I can help my clients establish safety and trust with me, then I can provide clarity and direction for them. And clarity and direction are the two things that every person needs in any relationship, especially professionally. So if you're listening to this episode or watching this episode, I would encourage you to ask yourself, do I get clarity? Do I have clarity? And do I have direction from my place of employment? If not, there may be an opportunity for coaching. And this is where I come into play. And so I help individuals with effective communication. I have something called the roadmap of delegation. A lot of us are thrust into a leadership role because we into a formal leadership role because we're good at what we do and we stayed long enough and we got a promotion, but we've never had any formal leadership training or coaching. And so what I do is I help people shift from a player to a coach and I help them stay in the coach's seat. And for a lot of us, we struggle with staying in the coach's seat because we see people doing the processes that we've mastered that has gotten the promotion to begin with, but we see them doing the process, quote unquote, incorrectly or differently than we would. So we jump out of the coach's seat to go do the process for them. So that means we're going from athlete to coach and back to athlete, right? And this is the old adage of give a man to fish and he'll eat for a day, or teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. And so what I do is I help my clients teach their team how to fish, how to lead, how to coach, how to train, and how to manage. All four are different, but all four are necessary in their leadership journey.
I love that, man. That's what I kind of laugh and chuckle a little bit when you talk about the fish thing. That's an analogy that I share with like my son and those around me. Hey, man, let's go. We about to go fish.
Yeah.
You know, just and so now you know that sets the mindset. Hey, okay, you're about to teach me something.
That's right.
It's going to be beneficial for me.
That's right.
So that's our code. Hey, let's go fish. We're about to go fishing. You're like, okay.
And the cool thing is, Chip, like we can model what leadership should look like. We can model what teaching versus telling should look like. I can share something with you versus tell something to you. When I share something with you, it's collaborative. You know, we're speaking with each other. We talk about the 5 steps to effective communication, which is to assume positive intent. It's to seek first to understand, then be understood. It's to fall in love with asking questions. It's to listen versus hear. And lastly, is to be positive. We can lead from a positive place. And so we talk about culture. We talk about vision, mission, and purpose. The question I ask is, hey, where are you going? That's your vision. How are you getting there? That's your mission. Why are you doing it? That's your purpose. So we can dissect those 3 things. We do this through a 3-month coaching program where we dive into 3 different phases. It's the discovery phase, where I get to learn a lot about who you are. I have a better understanding of who you are and why you think the way that you do, why you operate the way that you do. Once I have a good understanding of who you are, I can then customize the 2nd phase of the program, which is the action phase. We work on self-leadership. If we're expected to be leading others, but we're not effectively leading ourselves, how can we sharpen our own axe and begin to lead ourselves effectively? And then lastly, we get into the 3rd phase, which is the coaching phase. And that's where we get into the coaching, training, leading, and managing portion.
So good, man. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they can go follow you, check you out, and show you some love with all the great things you got going on.
Yeah, thanks, Chip. If you go to my website, limitlessleadership.co, and I'll say that again, limitlessleadership.co. All of my social media handles are on there. You can find me on most social media platforms at The Bearded Leader. That's at The Bearded Leader. You can find me on Facebook, Josh Parnell. I have a leadership community. It's a private leadership community on Facebook that I would love to invite you to. So it is a private community, but I trust you and the listeners that you have on your show, Chip. And so, this is a place for like-minded individuals to come together and learn and grow and develop each other and develop their leadership skills. And so I host a lot of webinars on this community, have a lot of Facebook Lives where we will drop some nuggets here and there. But limitlessleadership.co, and I'd love to connect with you. So hopefully I get to meet each and every one of you.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to interview on the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thanks, Chip. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.